The US military as well as Russia and China seem to worship at the altar that is stealth these days. And at one point in the 1990s, the US military flirted with the RAH-66, an idea for a stealthy helicopter platform. Sadly, it didn't exactly work out. Boeing-Sikorsky RAH-66 Comanche was grounded before it started. There are two prototype airframes, 94-0327. 950001, currently on display at the United States Army Aviation Museum at Fort Rucker, Alabama, that are certainly unique and certainly unlike any of the other military vehicles in the collection. While most of the aircraft in the museum's collection had been used in past conflicts and highlighted the role that helicopters still play with the Army, the two Boeing-Sikorsky RAH-66 Comanche helicopters are another story. They are also all that the United States Army has to show for its more than $7 billion effort to develop a stealth-armed reconnaissance and attack helicopter. After more than 2 decades of development, it was one of the largest program cancellations in the U.S. Army's history. Cold War development. The program to create the stealthy rotary attack aircraft began in the early 1980s, and the goal was for it to eventually replace the aging fleet of Bell AH-1 Huey gunships, Bell AH-1 Cobra light attack helicopters, Hughes 06 Chaos light observation and attack helicopters, as well as the Bell AH-58 Kiowa light helicopters. The RAH-66 was to be the world's first purpose-built stealth attack helicopter, and it was to have featured fully powered internal bays, which could have housed anti-armor and anti-air missiles. According to Boeing, the program's lead contractor, first deliveries were scheduled for 2006, with the Comanche program reaching full production by about 2010. Plans were to manufacture 1,213 RAH-66s for U.S. Army service. Other team members included Hamilton Standard, Harris Corporation, Hughes Link Training Division, Kaiser Electronics, Lear Astronics, Litton, Lockheed Martin, Moog, Sunstrand Corporation, TRW Military Electronics and Avionics Systems Group, and Williams International. Allison Engine Company and Allied Signal Engine Company co-developed the engines for the Comanche. Though the first RAH-66 Comanche prototype was rolled out at Sikorsky Aircraft, Stratford, Connecticut, on May 25, 1995, and conducted its maiden flight was made on January 4, 1996. The program only advanced slowly over the next 8 years. It was finally cancelled on February 23, 2004, as part of a reorganization of Army aviation. RAH-66, stealthy but too expensive. The right decision. Had it been serially produced, the RAH-66 would have certainly been the world's most advanced combat helicopter in service anywhere in the world. But it would have also been extremely expensive, with full production of the Comanche likely costing upwards of $39 billion. It's a big decision, but we know it's the right decision, said Gen. Peter Shoemaker, then Army Chief of Staff at the time of the program's termination. The Comanche decision reflected a then growing realization within the Pentagon that the military had more big-ticket weapons projects in the works than it could afford. That fact was true, even after seeing the Pentagon budget grow by tens of billions of dollars since 2001, following the 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon that began the global war on terror. In addition, the termination of the program reflected the then rising popularity in recent years of unmanned aircraft for surveillance, as well as attack missions. While some aviation buffs may bemoan what could have been, many experts suggest it was for the best, seeing how drones are now the future, based on the results in Ukraine, and the Army's decision likely saved taxpayers from investing in a bloated program that wouldn't have been ill-suited to the needs of the military during the GWOT. It is equally unlikely the Comanche would have a place in the Army's arsenal, even as there is the shift is back to near-peer adversaries, including China and Russia. The Pentagon may have wasted $7 billion in the program, but likely was spared from yet another expensive debacle, ill-suited to the changing global dynamic, like the U.S. Navy's LCS program. Despite the cancellation, the program has been seen to have validated a number of aircraft systems and components from its 2 flight test prototype aircraft. That is essentially all that the Army has to show for its $7 billion investment.